This video is going to show you how to do a op art sphere. So the sphere is going to look like it's popping out of our paper. For this project, you're going to need a pencil, some coloring materials, a crayon or colored pencil would be great too, something to trace a circle, and a ruler. And I'm going to start with tracing my sphere in the middle of my paper. There you go. Next, we're going to create a checkerboard. Now, I could measure, but that's going to take a little long. So I'm actually going to just use the width of my ruler. I'm going to line it up at the edge of my paper and draw a straight line. Now don't push, draw it nice and light so you don't move your ruler. Now when you keep continuing across, when you get to your sphere, you're going to stop your line and continue on the other side. So don't move your ruler, just watch where you're going, stop at your sphere, and continue at the end. And you're going to go all the way across. Once you're across, you're going to go back the other way. And same thing, you're going to stop when you touch your sphere or your circle at this point. You're now ready to add a checkerboard to your circle. However, we need to do this so it looks like it's coming out towards us. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a little point in the middle. So you can imagine the middle of my circle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and I'm going to curve a line that follows the same path as my sphere. So I'm going to go up and back down to that point, kind of like right now is a frowny face. Now I'm going to move over just a little bit. I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to go out, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to start at my point. I'm going to follow the curve of my circle and go back in. Now I got like an eyeball. I'm going to move over a little bit, maybe like a finger's worth. Go out and back in. Now I got to make a checkerboard, so we're going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to make a little point for the center of my circle. Just use the best you can. You can measure if you want, but I'm just going to use my eyes. I'm going to go out and in. I'm going to move over about a finger. Doesn't have to necessarily line up with the checkerboard behind you. Go out and back in. And do the same over here. Go out and in. Move over a little. Go up and back down. Now it's time to start adding color. I'm going to pick two colors, and I like to pick one that's light and one that's dark. Now you can use markers, you can use colored pencils, you can use crayons, you can use whatever you'd like. Just make sure that precision is the key. So you want to take your time to really add color to your op art today. So I think I'm going to go with something like this. Another trick is you might want to mark which ones you're going to color first before you lose track and you throw yourself off a little bit. So I could go through like this and just kind of mark which ones are going to be yellow, especially when you start getting close to your sphere. You have to know that yellow, white, yellow, white. Now you can do two colors or you can just leave it white. That might help save you some time. But again, that is completely up to you. So let's get coloring. It's now time to start coloring my sphere. I'm going to use the same color, but I'm going to start with my checkerboard pattern. And it's okay if it doesn't line up with the checks in the back. Now this, you may want to do a smaller tip of your marker to make sure it's extra precise. We're really working on craftsmanship and coloring inside those lines. You're gonna see I like to trace those outlines first before I color the inside. This is only gonna help you. Now you can probably see it's starting to pop up already, but we can add a little bit of value to make this pop up some more. So you can either use a pencil or some charcoal or a black colored pencil to add a little bit of shadow. Now you gotta decide where your light's coming from, whether it's gonna come from here or there. That's gonna decide where you're going to put your shadow. So I'm gonna say the light's coming from here. So I'm just going to lightly, it's gonna start dark right where the curve of my sphere is. And it's going to just fade out towards the end. Just a little bit. Just gonna do just the bottom of it. Now what you can do is use your finger. My fingers are a little sweaty today, and that's actually perfect to kind of spread out your value scale. You can always go back in to create some more. If it's super dark, that's okay too. You're gonna see if I darken it, it's gonna make it look stronger. It's gonna look like it's popping up even more, and the light is a little bit more harsh on our sphere. Again, I'm just gonna go lighter towards the sides. Just use my finger to kind of blend it out so it's not as harsh. Now we have some shadow, but you can also use some highlight. So if you have like a white oil pastel or a white colored pencil, if the shadow's here, our highlight's going to be around here. And because I have a white paper, you're not going to see it that much, but you will see it on the red. If you chose to color your entire sphere, so you color these white spots with a different color, you're going to be able to see this a little bit more. But I'm just going to follow the curve, and I'm just going to put a little bit of white to be the highlight of my sphere. And there you have it, an opt art sphere.